I want to get this thing started by thanking everyone for coming out. And then I want to go back to this idea of opportunity being in everything, because that is a very important thing to recognize. Now, I started my journey in this fitness idea wanting to get a bigger chest and a bigger pair of arms. I did like most guys do when they come to the gym. They say, hey, if I build that dynamic physique, I'll get the girls, right? I'll be able to walk down the beach, take off my shirt, maybe even my pants, wear some tight shorts, and I might get some attention, right? Attention. Attention is awesome. Builds your confidence, makes you feel better, and maybe even can help you build some cool opportunities in your life. That word again, opportunity. The thing that happened to me, though, was on the road to discovering a way to build myself from where I started. A bigger chest and a bigger pair of arms for myself. I ended up discovering some really interesting things. It is some of those lessons that I'm pulling from today, and I kind of want to share. I feel it's my responsibility to share with all the aspiring athletes that I've bumped into, exercise enthusiasts that I meet, and people that are technically looking for that idea of increase that they really haven't even begun to start to talk about as articulately as they may as they continue to develop. Increase and opportunity. That's something we're going to get back to. On the road to developing a bigger chest and a bigger pair of arms, I discovered that there are some very important... Is that too loud for you? Is that too loud? You all right? Okay. All right. Hey, you made it. Oh, my God. Success is in the building. In the building. Ah, I'm inspired. I will try. But you know what? In truth, this is not my job, and I'm not going to say that. Our responsibility here is to do something. One, I think our time is very, very important. So one of the things I want to say to everybody in this room, because this is where we recognize our ability to use our power responsibly, we want to learn three things. Whatever you hear, remember what we said, there's opportunity that lies in everything. I want to say this because anything that crosses your path now, once you decide to do something and be successful at something, guess what? When I say I also say indirectly that I recognize my right and responsibility to search any and everything that crosses my path for the opportunity within it to advance me in the direction that I want to go most. That's that thing that makes focus make sense. A lot of people will talk about be focused, but focused on what? And what does it mean if you can't say what? If you can't answer that question, then focusing, to say to focus, what are we really saying at all? Opportunity lies everywhere. And it lies in the responsibility of the person looking to identify it. To do that is to recognize your power and to use it responsibly. Okay, so let me come back to this thing. I wanted to get a bigger pair of arms and I wanted to get a bigger chest. And I was willing to say to myself, I was willing to do whatever it took to get it. But I didn't know what that meant until I really started to think about it and try to work at it, to work harder. And like most people, all of those other answers that are readily accessible, that are everywhere, were right there on the surface. And they were ready for me too. Like, oh, you don't have the support systems that you would need in order to support building a bigger chest and a bigger pair of arms. Yeah, you know, the social systems that you need at home, the loving wife that supports you by cooking your meals, and the supportive family that says, yes, your dreams are our dreams and we will support you in any way possible. We will remove the mountains in your path to help you get where you're trying to go. Life doesn't say that. So the truth is, if that was what I was waiting for, guess what? I was going to be very, very disappointed. My point in saying this is because the other consequences come up. Like, you don't have the right genetics. Yeah, you know, when I looked around at my family tree, when was the last time that I could imagine knowing somebody in my family history that had arms that were 24 inches and calves to match? And then a really awesome circumference of a chest to talk about as well. No, that didn't happen. I couldn't find it. Not my grandmother, certainly not in my father. And everything that I thought about that I wanted to achieve were things that technically there was nothing in the bloodline past experience to support. Even the idea was impossible. Here's the thing. When you decide, hey man, this is something that I want to do and I'm willing to work towards making it happen, then what happens is everything that you do, how you get up in the morning, what you do between the time you get up in the morning and go to bed at night, all those things become recognizable, that word again, opportunity. The fact that you're getting up at all with command of your faculties means that guess what? Opportunity is there. So what I'm saying is that on the road to developing a bigger chest and a bigger pair of arms, I ended up discovering that, hey, to do the things that I wanted to do on the surface would be talking about doing things that were technically impossible if I were to judge myself on the success that my family tree knew before me. The ideas that the people in my family entertained before I came along were not in the same line. To do what I wanted to do would have meant to aim to do what was impossible. I'm saying that on the road to doing that, I ended up discovering a way to make the impossible become possible. And I believe the way to do it is focus. Because now what happens is when I focused, I started to see where the opportunity lies in everything that I do. And everything that crosses my path, I realized lies within it the opportunity to advance. My responsibility when I say that I want to do something is to search continually for that opportunity. Now, this may sound like something that's just a motivational speaking situation. But I'm saying this because I really feel like that is where this thing goes all the time. I've never been the athlete that walked into a situation and was like, hey, Kai, so tell me exactly how many sets and how many reps, how many grams of protein, how many grams of carbs. All of that stuff is, I'm telling you, the minutia. And in an effort not to stand here and waste anyone's time, I'm trying to speak to the clearest and most real idea that I believe is on all of our hearts and within the realm of what our responsibility is right now when thinking about, talk to me about increase. And that's it. The idea of increase, I believe, is in recognizing the opportunity that lies in everything when I say that I want to do something. The ability to become a successful athlete, a person that's able to be that much more successful at hitting my goals in the gym or outside in any other pursuit in my life, rests in my ability to now recognize opportunity and to seek it out in everything that I do. If I look at something, a situation or opportunity in my life that does not bring with it of doing the opportunity to advance towards the things that I want, then that thing becomes a thing that I can identify as a waste of my time, a waste of my resource, a waste of my effort. I say I want to go to school and get a degree in business. And in order to go to school and get a degree in business, I know that if I participate in my classwork and I stay the course for 6 months, 4 months, however long it is for me to achieve my degree, pass some necessary coursework, guess what? I can get my degree. However, when it comes to doing the work in the class and being present for the class, if I know I'm supposed to be in class at 8 o'clock or 9:30 in the morning, but the night before I'm in the club until 4 a.m., chances are my own efforts are getting in my way of achieving the goal that I say is important to me. You get what I'm saying? the opportunity to go to the club would be a demonstration of how I can choose to use my power. Because no one can decide to go to the club or not to go to the club for me, but me. Unless you're dealing with a situation where the club is closed. I'm kidding. Let me not do that. Let me come back. All right. My point. The rightful use of your power is how we express the ability to capitalize and recognize opportunity. Opportunity is in everything. And when I say that I want to do something, when I say that I'm the athlete that's working toward developing myself in the direction that I want to go most, then my responsibility I need to recognize every time, not sometimes. Every time. Is the opportunity that rests in everything that crosses my path. Everything. Conversation with Joe Blow. Demonstration of a child's actions walking across the room floor. There's a lesson in that. The ability to see it depends on what I want to do and how strict I'm going to hold myself to that letter. The rest of it becomes opportunity to sell, promote, and market. So be careful. Because a lot of times when you want to do something and you're very serious about it, if we allow ourselves to get wrapped up in just talking or being wooed and swayed by a really wonderful conversation, then we can become consumers. And we don't want to do that. Because I think the overall achievement, the accomplishment of the goal, particularly the ones that are the most serious and that we really want to attain in our lives, you don't want to just talk about it. You want to do it. And the only way to do it is to continue to stay focused. So there's opportunity in everything. And when I wanted to build my chest and my arms, what I ended up discovering on the road to doing that is, wow, you know what? My character is going to be affected. How? Because I need to be able to focus on, when I say something, following through. And I can break that down forever. But the simplest way I can make it seem right now is to say this. I recognize that I'm in a driving seat all the time. My success and my failure belongs to me. That's it. Everything else, it's not about genetics. So if somebody told you that, and if you believe that, it will only serve you as well as you want it to. Lila Brada didn't know about genetics. He worked hard. He went from being a teenage bodybuilder and grew into becoming a dominant pro. He didn't stand more than 5 feet tall. So he wasn't the most statuesque athlete on the planet. However, he was a hard worker. And through his desire and passion, he was able to discover other abilities that allowed him to advance and dominate in the bodybuilding subculture. He became one of the top athletes in the world and is still celebrated today. My point, genetics would have been identified as not being on his side. So if we're talking about genetics, like a lot of people do, they'll tell you all day you need to have a wider clavicle, longer arms, and whatever else. You can fill in the blank. I've learned from my journey that it's not about genetics. And anybody that's trying to tell you about genetics all the time, it's only going to serve you as well as you want it to. Who am I? I may be talking garbage. Or this may be an idea that some people may need to take in. It may serve you well at another time if you choose to use it. There's opportunity in everything. But with this one thing, I do want to say this. As I began that journey, the quest of developing a bigger chest, a bigger pair of arms, I did not know about genetic predisposition. Those words was just too sophisticated for me. And to my credit, even today, 30 years later, I have never sat down and hooked myself up to sophisticated biofeedback equipment where I had it read and interpreted as what my genetic predisposition is or wasn't. Everything that I've been able to see manifest in my life, in my career, has been on the premise of being able to work. You look in the mirror, you work, you look in the mirror, you work, you look in the mirror, you assess, and you reassess. but you never stop working. And once you identify the stuff that's important to you, then that means you know the reason why it's important to work. The other stuff, how I feel about working, those things become answered when I think about how bad I want it. Because there's somebody that's going to be diagnosed with some issues, and they're going to have to accept changing their lifestyle to save their life. And if they're serious about doing that, then guess what happens? And the thing about genetics then, if somebody were to tell you in an effort to save your life, guess what? You're going to need to adopt a different lifestyle, a different way of eating, and a different way of approaching the situations and circumstances that come up in your life. Guess what? When your life is on the line, the people that will be successful or that will aim like the Dickens to succeed are the people that are going to find their way over the obstacles. And I think the way to do that is to focus on what you want, recognize the opportunity that lies in this situation to advance in the direction that you want to go most. Genetics. I never knew about genetics. In the beginning, I knew what I wanted. I didn't know that my arm needed to be a certain length. I didn't know how long my limbs needed to be. I didn't know what the muscle fiber makeup of a particular muscle group needed to be in order to be that much more likely to be successful in development in the way that I wanted to grow and go. I didn't know those things. And even today, I am not a scholar on that subject. What I did know was how important it was for me to try to get to where I wanted to go. On this rock, I will build my church. That's one of those really cool concepts, one of those really cool lessons that I kind of got earlier on in my experience. I wanted to become something. And I want to build myself into something that made me proud. When I see that, then guess what? I knew what a why was. And what I recognize now is that anything that I chose to do at that point, I could be successful at it just for the sake of understanding what I wanted and being willing to do the work required to achieve it. Simple to me. So the best I have to offer in this moment is not the minutia of numbers, sets, and reps. How many grams? How many ounces? That's the minutia. I really do put it there. Being clear about why you want to get where you're trying to go. Everybody doesn't want the same thing that they say they do. And if you don't want it, that's cool. But you don't have to put it on genetics. Because the people without the genetics that still became the success that they aspired to be, that's how they did it. That's how they found a way to overcome the objections. You get me? Because that's really what this thing is about. Finding your way to overcome the objections. Creating the opportunity. When I said that I wanted to become a great athlete at my sport, I didn't know exactly what it was going to mean. I just knew that I loved what I was doing, and when I did it, it made me feel better. I didn't have all the answers about the science and all the minutia numbers. Yo, man, when I did this, I felt like it made sense. And even though there were people that would have said, hey, man, when you're a gym rat, you can't really do anything with that. You're going to have to stop doing that and get a real job. If you ever want to be something in life, somehow on the other side of that, I knew that was wrong. But here's the thing. It was going to take me to find a way to make that goal, that dream make sense. So that meant that there's still work that I had to do that was mine to do. Find the opportunity. Now, here's the thing. I realized this. When you decide as an athlete number one that says, hey, man, I want to develop this thing into the larger possibility that it will be for me, and I'm willing to invest my time, my effort, my sweat equity. I will make this the rock that I build my church on. Okay, well now when doing that, does every piece fall into place of the puzzle? No, it doesn't. But when that happens, it's my job, it's my responsibility to find the opportunity, even with the discomfort, even with the tragedy, adversity, disappointment. Because those things don't just stop just because you said, hey man, I want to be a successful athlete, just like they don't stop with any other larger scale choices that we make about where we want to go and who we want to be in this life. But I'm recognizing that what happens is, it's not that they happen, it's what you do when they happen. You get me? Part of doing the things that are still necessary in order to help you advance in the direction of the way you want to go most is about recognizing your power and seeing the opportunity in everything. The good situations. My girlfriend loves me. She says she's going to cook 6 meals a day for me. Damn, she loves me. I feel good. I'm in love. Yes, opportunity that helps me advance in the direction that I want to go. But in the situation where, guess what? Girlfriend says, I'm out. I'm leaving. I don't want you no more. You want attention. You're staying in the spotlight too much. Always showing off, wearing your tank tops and tight shorts. I don't want it. I'm out. That means she's not going to be here to help me. She's not going to cook. She's not going to, opportunity. It's my job and responsibility to see the opportunity even in that. And those are very basic examples. Some can be even more extreme. But my point is the responsibility is still the same. I got a brand new car. It's outside. It's mine. Making my payments every month. I feel good. Love driving my car. Love paying my car note. Things are good. I can drive to the gym every day. Opportunity. Damn. Situations and circumstances kind of happened. Stopped paying my car note. Lost a few hours on my job. Guess what? Car got repoed. I don't have it anymore. Can't drive to the gym. Now I got to walk. The example here of opportunity is what I do despite that. Guess what? I'm walking to the gym. What does that mean? That means I found the opportunity in that to help me advance in the direction that I still want to go most. It's basic. I'm sure everyone in here can come up with a much more graphic and vivid and colorful story to talk about. Everybody has a story. Disappointment lurks everywhere. That's a real possibility. There is tragedy. And anything that you can imagine that will serve as a possible derailment of your work towards the achievement of your vision or your goal. My point is that because I said that I want it, and because I really do believe that I want what I said, my responsibility, my job, when anything crosses my path, the good, that makes life feel a lot more comfortable on the surface, or the bad, that makes it feel a lot more challenging. I ain't got my car anymore. It's my job to search for the opportunity even in that. So I'm walking to the gym. I'm doing my cardio extra. I'm going to be in shape this season. My point. My responsibility is to find opportunity in everything, to look for it. And after I've done all the work, if I looked and looked and looked again and found that there's a situation, this one situation in my life that has come up, and after I've made my goal, made my commitment, I'm working towards it, and I look at this thing and I done flipped it over, picked it up, I can't see the opportunity to advance towards the goal that I said that I want. Not with this. So now what am I supposed to do? We make one. make the opportunity. It may sound crazy. I'm not crazy. Not crazy. We search for the opportunity. We learn how to see it. Sometimes learning how to see is based on developing skills, real skills. This is probably a really good example of that. You can look at something and only see surface. You can look at something a lot of times and not see anything at all. Really easy. You know what? I said that I'm going to start this new approach to my diet and my training. Yep, right now, this is it. I'm not going to break my diet anymore. I'm going to start being conscious of my calories. Yep, I done got it all written out, mapped out. I'm going to stay on this diet. Right now, I got it written on a piece of paper. I done downloaded it into my phone. I got it with me all the time. I can pull it up right in my pocket. New diet. And now, guess what? I'm going to implement this thing tomorrow. That's right, I'm going to get up early in the morning. I'm going to do my cardio. I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to get started. And then guess what? Guess what? The afternoon didn't even come yet, and I got the phone call. What? Phone call? The phone is ringing. Who? Somebody want to talk to me. Who is this? Friend. Hey, ain't seen you in a long time. Want to hang out. Come on, let's go. Let's get together. Wow, this is what that great friend, that fun friend, that friend when they hang out, we have a great time. Sometimes the time is just too great, so great that I can't do nothing for 3-4 days after this. I mean, man, wow, this is that fun friend. I mean, it just keeps on giving the fun, I tell you. So much fun, in fact, that wait a minute, damn it. I just said that I was going to start this protocol tomorrow. I done made plans. I done got it in my phone. I done went to the gym and bought my membership. I done paid for the next 6 months. I'm feeling pretty accomplished. Cars outside. Things are pretty good for me right now. Decisions. Opportunity. That's not rough. It's not a difficult thing. It's one of those opportunities to recognize, well, listen, who are you? What do you want to do? Why are you here? What's important to you? What are you going to say in an effort to answer yourself? I tell you, there's opportunity in that. Now, it can become even more extreme, Start getting ready, training, doing some really cool stuff. And let's just say a family member passed away. Really close. And I am heartbroken. I started my diet. I got it written in my phone. It's downloaded. I can pull it out in my pocket and scroll through all the time. I can be clear about what I said I was going to do. I'm supposed to be at the gym 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to do my cardio like I said. I was going to start this new protocol. But family member passed away, and man, it's tough. Emotionally, I feel beaten down. You just won't understand. If somebody asked me, want to talk to me about it, I would talk to you, but you just won't get it. I can't. It hurts too bad. In fact, it hurts so bad that, the next 3, 4, 5 days, months, I might just be sitting right here thinking about that. It's real. Opportunity. Who are you? Who do you want to be? What do you say you want to do? How you answer those questions based on, man, you know what? I said I was going to start this protocol. Still got it written in my phone. Car's still outside. It ain't been repoed yet. I'm hurt. But there's opportunity in that. I've been the person that had to turn around and find that for myself. And I think most people will find that they will have to decide for themselves what you're going to do. when you just paid for your membership. Car's still outside. Said I'm going to start. In fact, I've already started. The development of discipline and all those other tools, I think, are done so through desire, opportunity. Every situation and circumstance, I believe, at this point, when I look at things this way, become critical in helping me understand that point, just driving that point home. The opportunity there in all of these experiences is the ability for me to turn around and say, hey, who am I? How will I distinguish myself in this moment? How can I use this opportunity to help me advance in the direction that I want to go most? I believe that at the end of this game, the ability to realize on the other side of this thing, the success that I dream about, the idea of achievement that I can't wait to write about and share with other people, lies in what I do when those situations cross my path. And if I am saying that I want the goals that I say are important to me, then I recognize it's my job, my responsibility to search each thing that crosses my path for the opportunity that will allow me to receive the help through this thing to advance in the direction that I want to go most. So this thing is not a tragedy. It's not a derailment. It's not the discouragement. It's not the distraction. It's not any of those things that I could otherwise fill in the blank with. Because what I choose to see is the opportunity. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And the ability to see this opportunity, to see every situation as the opportunity that it can be to help you advance, that's a skill. And I believe it's a skill that's built on desire. Now, I could sound like I'm crazy. Somebody may say, that makes no sense to me, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I could accept that. I could appreciate that. But it ain't going to be the thing that's going to help me get to where I'm trying to go. So I won't be able to focus on that too much more after this. I'm going to share with you, though, the best thing that I have to offer with saying that, with having this exchange tonight. Everyone wants something. And I believe that the responsibility here tonight is to be able to walk away with something of value, an idea that in some way, if thought about, talked about, explored a little further, maybe will serve you well. With that said, I put this on the table because I believe that this is the best way to offer the most value. I am telling you, it's definitely not about the sets, the reps, the number of grams of protein that I've ingested over the last 25 years, because the truth is, that stuff is so relative to a lot of other things that we wouldn't even have enough time to go into. There's complex science involved in stuff like that we probably couldn't even begin to try to break down and explain. I'm not smart enough. I don't have to be. Because I believe that the truth, with everything that I have experienced up until this point, the biggest lesson that I've learned in an effort to kind of go where I want to go with respect to the development of my sport, my craft as an athlete, and the ability to build my own success in this life as I see it, can be broken down into this one thing. Recognizing that my thoughts are powerful, my thoughts become things, and with that, I can look for opportunity to advance towards the things that I want to attain in everything that crosses my path. It's one thing to say that I want to be a successful man or woman at any particular craft. It's something else to talk about doing the necessary work that is required to achieve it. And the work can be varied. It can be a lot of things. More things than someone can tell you in a brief moment of opportunity to speak. But believe me, it's real. The best thing I can say is, listen, man, when you identify what you want to do, the goal here is to be clear about that. And to recognize that with saying that, that also means that, guess what? I am willing to do everything that I must do in order to make this goal a reality. Everything. Everything. And that means having to look at everything that crosses your path, everything that life puts on your plate, every situation, every circumstance. Search for the silver lining being the opportunity for advancement. If you look, search, and look again, each and everything that crosses your path, once you've identified where you want to go and who you want to be, if you don't see the opportunity, if there really isn't one there, then you make it. Because there is opportunity in everything, every situation, every circumstance to help you or the man or woman that is looking to develop themselves into the direction that they want to go to become who they want to be most. That's the truth. That is my truth. Everything. You repossess my car while I'm getting ready, while I'm moving in the direction that I want to go to become the man that I want to be. That car repossession is not going to be the end of me. It's not going to be the death of my dream. Okay, Kai, you got bad credit now. Oh, well, give me another 7 years and the continued investment, the sweat equity, in the belief that my dreams are valuable enough to me to be willing to do everything that I'm supposed to do to build it and work it into creation. And guess what? In 7 years, that bad credit is going to be cleaned up. You get what I'm saying? And built into that idea of the repossession and the disappointment that came along with that and any hardships that came as a result of that, getting to and from, guess what? They're going to help me appreciate a lot better when I get where I want to go. Damn, I remember when I used to have to walk. I remember when I used to have to get on the train, get on a bus to try to get to the gym. My point, there's opportunity even in that disappointment. The goal. Once we decide what it's going to be, that's your why. That's where you got to get to. And then what happens is everything else that happens along the way is opportunity to learn new things about myself, learn new things about how I need to think critically and more inventively when in the situations, in the trenches of my experience. Because the goal, the dream is still real. And the possibility of producing it is still there. It's my responsibility to use my power. And it starts with seeing the opportunity. All right, well, with that said, I'm not going to beat that horse anymore. I'm pretty much done with all of that. And as I see people about to drop off and sleep, I'll open this thing up for some questions. Maybe we get some questions going on. Anybody with a question or two? And now, I also want to say this, though. Before we do that, I want to encourage everybody that's listening to listen to the question that's being asked. Because this may be the opportunity to hear something that will help you in a way that you didn't even think it was going to happen. But they may ask a question that you've asked a lot of times and probably thought, I'm not going to ask that because I don't want to put this question out there. But no questions about grapefruits, okay? All right. Any questions? Yes.
All right. Oh, yeah. I'm wondering what role emotion plays in your training and, which emotion would you say is most beneficial to utilize for yourself?
Yeah. Which emotion do you use when you're training and which emotion is most useful? Is that right? Yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay. I like that. Let's explore this for a second. All right. Which emotion? I think that training, everything is valuable. Everything is valuable. Somebody might say rage, but rage can't happen without some other things like vulnerability. You know, I can recall times in my life being able to call on a lot of energy, emotional energy, based on a lot of things that I really couldn't even identify at the time. I wasn't even articulate enough to even start to try to put in place. And if you asked me that then, I don't know, I was mad. Yeah, I like mad, anger, but it's not that. That would be an oversimplification of trying to come up with an answer for that, because the truth is, it may be a lot of things, you know, a lot of things. Which emotion serves you best when training? I think, man, everything. There's opportunity. And I sat down and I cried, feeling really vulnerable, hating the fact that I was so vulnerable, feeling so weak, really weak. Nothing in that, I would imagine, in the moment, that could ever be the fuel to get up in a gym somewhere with 805 pounds on my back, ready to squat down to the floor and risk throwing up. Yeah. I felt weak, crying, wishing it was over, but it wasn't. But there's opportunity from having been through that spectrum of different feelings. That vulnerability will serve me if I'm able to. I've also been the dude that was on the phone with my girlfriend long distance. Yeah, we arguing, you know, because you know how that argument can be sometimes on the phone with your girlfriend, because nobody can get you riled up like your girlfriend can. And when you can't even get there to talk to her because you're on the phone, you pick up she hung up. This chick done hung up the phone. I got to call. I'm going to get back to you. I got to call her again. Hey, don't hang up this phone on me. No. She did it again. Oh, I can't even articulate. My words get jumbled up in my mouth. You ever been so mad with your girlfriend? Or in an argument with a friend, a loved one? And the words won't even come out. You're just so emotionally rattled. I've learned, though, that there's something to be said for being in that situation on the phone. Slam the phone. I broke the phone, hit the ground. Yeah, that's my phone. There's another piece of it over there, another piece of it over there. You know what? I can't even try to pick this up. I done broke it in so many pieces. You know what? This piece of garbage phone. I'm mad at the phone now. The phone, damn it. The phone. My girlfriend and the phone. I'm going to call the phone company and tell them how mad I am about the fact that it's not the girlfriend, it's not the phone, but it's here. And it's so, instead of breaking the phone, though, I've been in that experience where, you know what? Let me remember this. Let me take this and let me find the opportunity in it. And I'm going to put it in a bottle. Take it, I'm going to put it in my pocket. It's in my pocket now. I'm going to hold on to it because I'm going to need this at another time. What is it? It's a lot of things. It's the vulnerability of not even being. I want you to answer me. I want you to say I'm valuable enough that you care. You don't care. I don't care. And I don't care, but I do care about this broken ass phone because now I can't call nobody else and I can't do nothing else with a broken phone. But I'm gonna take this energy and I'm gonna put it up in the bottle. I'm gonna put it in my pocket, and I got this energy now in my pocket. And the next time I'm in the gym and I don't want to be there, I want to be there. I thought I was strong because I was real strong when I talked about it. When I just got my diet plan, everything wrote up. I'm going to get in the gym and I'm going to start my cardio in the morning, 6 a.m. I done paid for 6 months. Remember that. I done paid 6 months. That's right. Opportunity. Argument with my girlfriend. Man, I'm in this gym training right now, and I want to be serious, but my mind is just wandering. It can be in a lot of other places. But you know what? Right now, I picked up this weight. I'm training. I want to be serious. What is it? 225, 315, whatever it is. It's on the bar. It's there. It's on my back now. I squat down. I was supposed to do 20 reps. I only got 3. Put it back on the rack. My mind's just not there. Man, training partner's there. He says, come on, Kyle, let's go. Yeah, I know. I'm here. I got it. We get to 405. I put it on the bar. Squatting. I'm squatting again. I'm supposed to get 15 reps. What did I get? Barely got 5. You know? And then you get those moments where your training partner, somebody talks to you and says, hey, man, what's going on? You started your program, right? Yeah. You said you want to get ready, right? Yeah. Paid 6 months, didn't you? Yeah, I did it. Your car's outside, right? Yes, it's parked in the parking lot. You got a new phone? Yeah, I got a new phone. All right, so what's the problem? I don't know. I'm just not. Yo, man, get your mind right. Remember who you want to be. Where you want to go, why you're here. What's going on? Yeah, but you don't understand. I had an argument with my girlfriend. I just don't feel like myself. Yo, man, well, were you searching for the opportunity? Oh, yeah, opportunity. What do you mean? Well, who are you? Are you here to play games? Or are you here to get the job done? I get it. You mean, well, what do you got in you? That 405 pounds felt really heavy. Really heavy. Well, wait a minute. I might have something else in my bag of tricks. In fact, in my back pocket, I do remember, oh, yeah, that jar. Remember, I'm going to take this out and use it. Recognize the opportunity hidden within it. I get up under that bar again, and I go right back to the moment when I had the phone in my hand. I want you to listen to me. But I'm not talking to her. I'm talking to myself. I got this bar on my back, and I'm very, very serious about what I'm about to say. And I say it with everything I got. Every emotional thing that I can muster inside of me is talking to me, and it's helping me move this thing. You get me? Which emotion is it? I don't know. It's a lot of things. A little bit of hurt, a little bit of betrayal, a little bit of every other anxiety feeling that I may have that speaks louder to every one of my insecurities. Stuff that she didn't even say to me, that I'm saying to myself, that's now alive and inside of me, that's causing me to feel this awesome array of emotions going on inside of me, that if you asked me then, which one is the most important, I'd say, I don't know. Damn, all of them seem really, really important to me right now. But guess what? In that is the opportunity. Almost like Popeye with this damn spinach. I done opened up the can, put it in my ass, and let's go. I'm working, and I get it done. That's my point. Yes, everything is an opportunity. Which emotion? It can be everything. And very hard to identify after the fact. But good, bad, or indifferent, there's opportunity in it if you choose to see it. And bring it and use it when it counts. All right. Next question.
Before you step on stage, what thoughts go on in your head?
Stepping on stage?
Yeah.
All right. Good question. Asked by a young man. That's the youngest face in the room. Young looking. Anyway. Question, what are the stuff that's going on in your mind when you're backstage? And I think there's a lot of questions that might be going on. But if there are too many questions that I'm listening to, then I'm probably doing the wrong thing. Because the opportunity there is to concentrate. And the way you concentrate is by shutting those things down. I got a job to do. I once heard a really awesome interview by Vince Taylor. And he talked about his first time being backstage at his first pro bodybuilding show. And he said he turned pro and he was excited. And when he was backstage, he saw all of these guys that he's seen in the magazines. Oh, wow, that's that guy. And wow, that's Dennis James. And back when Dennis James was big Dennis James. And hey, oh, wow, that's Dennis Wolf. And back when Dennis Wolf was really the Wolf. Damn, he's really tall. His shoulders are wide as hell. Damn, his waist is small. And his glutes are cross-striated. I don't know. Wait. Vince Taylor said what he had to do was he had to stop, talk to himself and say, wait a minute. I ain't come here to be an enthusiast looking around. He said, I had to remember who I am. Remember what I came here to do. Remember how hard I worked. He said, well, I came here to do my job. I came here to win. The only way to do that would mean that now I have to focus. What is going through your head when you're backstage? Focus. Yo, man, what did I come here to do? Where's my rice cakes? Did I take in all the calories that I needed to take in? How's that filling up process working? Okay, let's rock. We follow this process through. There's a checklist that every athlete has to have developed along their way from getting from where they start to where they are. So once you get there backstage, you need to be following your protocol, your list. That's it. It's not a time to worry about judging, politics, sky's blue, water's wet. I came here, I got a job to do. This is it. Did I have, what, how many? That last meal was what, 2 hours? It was 2 hours. I had some honey. Did I need anything else? Let me talk with my coach. Let's go. Let's look in the mirror. Where are we at? Oh, we're right on? Okay, great. Up, no, we got some things to do. My point, my mind is on task. We're working. We came there with a job. We have ideas in our head of how to do that, and that's it. Everything else, hey, how many people in the audience? Hey, how many tickets did we sell? Hey, do you think the judges like me? When I was on stage, did you see them look at me? Hey, what did you think? Would they stand me up? Were we in the middle? Were we in the back? Were we on the side? What call out did we make? Those things we don't want to worry about. Can't. And if you're focused and you're trying to do what you're supposed to do, following your protocol, sometimes you got to put those blinders on. When the blinders are on, guess what? The conversation is not as entertaining. If there was somebody backstage watching you, so what's it like? And you're like, wow, this is very boring. You know, yep, I'm going to put my feet up on the wall. I'm relaxed. Got to concentrate. I got work to do. Yeah, so that's the stuff that's going through your head. Next question. Oh, take the mic. Let's go.
First of all, thank you guys for being here. Everybody coming to see Kai L. Greene, Mr. Getting It Done himself. And I have a good question. I heard him in the beginning talking about genetics and how it plays a role, et cetera, and his belief that he was going to make it, right, and he was going to do it no matter what. There's a story that Kai has told me that I love about genetics and about overcoming and people saying, hey, don't even worry about this or you can't do that or whatever. When he was a kid, when he was a teenager, he went to the gym and somebody said, hey, man, it's kind of controversial these days. Hey, man, Harry knows where I'm going. He goes, hey, man, don't even worry about those calf raises. Black guys can't build calves. And if you look at Kai's calves right now, you'll see already that guy was really, really wrong. And I love that Kai took that and was like, okay, we'll see about that. And if you look at the Olympia stage, when Kai's been up there, he has some of the most impressive built calves because he didn't start with those calves. And so for me, you may notice that I don't have the best calves either. And I didn't do what Kai did and build 21-inch calves, but I love the story because I know everybody says, oh, calves are genetic. You either have them or you can't have them. It's just one or the other. And Kai proved that wrong. And I just wanted to tell, if you don't mind, Kai, would you tell the story?
I don't know what I said. I can't remember that. Let me get back to it. Well, actually, at the time, Lee Haney was the reigning Mr. Was he the reigning Mr. Olympia at the time? No. Certainly the one with the most Olympia wins at the time. I remember being a teenager, getting to the gym, and yes, finally I was excited to be there. It took a lot of work to get there. The first time I got into a gym, I was in an institutional facility, and being in the gym was not allowed. So I had gotten released from this facility with the opportunity to go to a gym and to train. And it was one of those things that had been earned because some rules were bent, and I was afforded an opportunity to compete in a bodybuilding competition, which meant that they allowed you to leave the facility for one day, a few hours, to compete in your first bodybuilding competition. I won my first trophies and stuff, and with that, there was a lot of positive spotlight put on the facility for something that was thought to be incredibly unorthodox and not in the traditional scheme of how they did things. So it afforded me another opportunity to go to a gym. Anyway, long story short, we got in there, and I remember seeing all the trainers, all the coaches, all the people that were training and doing awesome stuff, and I wanted to be just like them. I wanted to make a life in fitness for myself, but as an athlete, I wanted to do it this way. Long story short, we walked in, and I looked everywhere, and everybody in the facility had opportunity, education, things that I knew I wanted to own myself, develop in myself. And when I looked around, the trainers and the people in the facility said, hey, so yeah, man, you got a lot of potential, young teenage bodybuilder kid. He said, yeah, so you know what? You can build like a great back, some great pair of arms, a really good chest, but you don't really need to worry about like trying to work on your legs or your calves and stuff, because black guys don't grow calves. Huh? I said, yeah, it's just genetic. They just don't have calves. They don't. So don't even waste your time. Just do the stuff that you're good at. You can see, you can work out. You'll get a bigger chest, a better pair of arms, get a big back, maybe even be like the great Lee Haney one day. How'd you like that? Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. The problem here is the example of how other people can pass on their limiting beliefs. If you let them, they will pass it on to you. They will hold you hostage. And here's the funny part. You ready for this? It's not them at all. If you choose to accept it, those limiting beliefs become yours. Your limiting beliefs. Sometimes we just have to question, assess again. When I decided that I wanted to become a great bodybuilding athlete, anything that crossed my path meant that I needed to look at and search for the opportunity. And if I looked and looked and looked and looked at something and saw that there was none, then it was for me, my responsibility it was, then to create it. I saw a really cool video, Lifestyles of the Fit and Famous, and it was a really awesome athlete named Sean Ray. He had done this video. It was awesome. In that video, they showed him training, and he did this thing called seated calf raises. He did them masterfully. They looked awesome. He looked awesome doing it. And later when they showed him walking in slow motion, his calves were just tremendous. His legs looked awesome. And I remember thinking, man, I want to do that. My point, I liked seated calf raises, and I started doing them because I saw Sean Ray do them. In the end, guess what I discovered? Limiting beliefs don't have to be yours. Don't hold yourself hostage to limiting beliefs. That idea sometimes can be to your detriment. In this case, that would have been the thing that held back my development, not genetics. The idea of genetic predisposition, as I said, didn't apply. If I didn't train my calves and I didn't fall in love with doing it as awesomely as I thought I felt when I did them, after looking at Sean Ray's influence, the absence of calf development that I would have experienced in myself and my career would not have been because I was black, and black guys don't have calves. We just don't have the genetics. It wouldn't have been because of that. It would have been because I held myself back by not being willing to do the work necessary to create the reality that I wanted most for myself. And it really just becomes that simple. Hope we answered that one. Yes? Question.
First of all, this is like meeting Puff Daddy type shit right now. Meeting you. But I want to ask a deeper question than all these. As far as being on the top, is it ever lonely? You know what I'm saying? Where you're going, you're meal prepping, you're working, doing RedCon, you got your own business. But at your level where you're at, does it ever get lonely to the point where it's just feeling mundane? Or you ever go through anxiety or depression or something like that, just going through a tunnel vision kind of vibe?
Good question. Man, that's a really good question. I like that question. That's what's up. Is it lonely at the top? Well, I won't say that I'm at the top because I still got a lot of things that I want to do. I'm still have reason to grind. I still have reason to work, and I'm not done. So with that, I haven't reached my top yet. Just like a person that would say, hey, reaching your bottom, I haven't been there either, But with saying what I am trying to say, man, as far as loneliness and depression, I think you're always going to have opportunity to experience those things too. I don't think that the possibility of success or becoming successful at achieving some things on your list of things to do in an effort to see your larger development realized as you so work to do, I don't think that it makes you immune to like dealing with emotional setbacks, and certainly not immune to depression. Disappointment is real, and I think any number of things can be a trigger for a host of stuff that I guess could be explained in psychoanalytic theory that I'm not capable of speaking on at to any length. But I will say that you can still wrestle with a lot of the issues because you're still real. You're still a human. You're still a person with your own flaws and But with that, I think it's not that you can't. It's what you do when you are experiencing those things. Because I think everybody's going to have to deal with their own share of emotional stress and some of those things that can be brought on as a product of dealing with disappointment. I don't think the loneliness and stuff is the thing to really worry about. We want to be successful at what we're trying to do, and we'll work towards doing that. And anytime we look at some of the other challenges that come along with that, they're just challenges that we have to deal with and keep moving to get to where we're trying to go. It's like, I feel like, to answer a question like that, it's almost like being a fullback on the line of scrimmage, and you're looking across the line, and there's 4 other guys that are looking to try to stop you. They're called linebackers or linemen, and they're big and they're ugly, and they're looking to tear you apart. Anything that crosses that line of scrimmage, they're looking to just destroy it. But yeah, I can imagine, though, that the truth is my job is not to look at the lineman and start going, oh, man, how much do you weigh, bro? Wow, you like 315? Yeah, and how fast do you run that 40? And how much do you bench? And now when I start to do that, how wide are your shoulders before you put the shoulder pads on? When I start to do those things, and what happens is I start to make more of the problem. And I put my focus on the problem. You get me? And then when I start to look at that, then I can now even create more anxiety for myself when I start to multiply that problem by the fact that there's 4 other linemen that are ready to do the same damage, that are capable of doing as much damage as I can imagine, and then some. But when I look behind them and I remember what the goal is, then I recognize that my job, if I'm trying to get to the quarterback, my job is not to make more of the problem and focus on these problems that are looking to stop me from getting to the goal. You get what I'm saying? I want to get to the quarterback. I want to fumble the play. I want to get the ball. I got to put my eyes there. To get the lineman, I need to be able to put a move on him. Done. Next. You get what I'm saying? That's where I really think that I need to best focus my energy and my attention, because to do otherwise will allow me to first take my eye off the goal, and now I've put it on the problems, and the problems now become multiplied, and before you know it, I've then been tangled up dealing with this lineman, and before you know it, the quarterback, the play's already happened, and I'm not even in the game anymore. You get me? My ability to force the situation and use my power on that is done. You get what I'm saying? Anybody that's not following this football analogy, it's okay, because I don't play football right now. But the point here is this. Yeah, there are challenges that will await you on the other side of trying to be successful and stepping into that. There's no way around that. Start making more money, guess what? You're going to spend more money. Start making more relationships. There'll be more relationships to maintain. But that can't be the deterrent. That can't become the thing that allows me to say, well, I would aspire to develop myself in the way that I say that I want to go. I would love to be the success. Oh, yeah, but that means I have to go to the gym more. I have to train, have to be in command of my faculty more often than not, have to be conscious of what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. It's a lot of responsibility that I'd rather not have. Well, so congratulations. I've now used that conversation to talk myself out of. And I don't want to do that. I think that would be the misuse of my power. So what I'm trying to do in an effort to answer your question is say, yeah, but those things become the minutia. Yeah, man, there's probably some issues of disappointment that will still have to be addressed. You know, adversity and tragedies will still come as a result. Your ability to reach toward the growth and development of your larger vision of success does not mean that those things will not happen. But it does mean that what you are willing to do in the face of those things while still recognizing your rightful use of your power and command of your faculty means that you're going to find a way to sidestep that and still work towards the achievement of the goal. Does that make sense? Next question. Any more? Is there one? Yes.
All right. Thanks. So you talked a lot about we have this responsibility to find the opportunity, right? Where do you derive that responsibility from? Is it a responsibility to yourself or to like a higher purpose?
Good question. Where do you derive that responsibility from? Where do you get a responsibility from? Well, it's what you claim when you say I want. Because anybody that wants something recognizes, I'm going to have to do something to get it, right? I'm going to have to be available to receive it, right? How do you receive it? Hey, listen, mail that to me. I want you to mail that package to me. Okay, Kai, well, what's your address? Huh? Address? Oh, who am I? You mean me? You're asking me, who am I? Well, I never really thought about, well, let me think about that. Do I have value? Oh, I guess I have to answer that question. Yes, I do. Am I worth it? Well, yeah. I have to believe that that's true. And if so, then whose job is it to prove that? Whose job is it to answer that question if not mine? Whose life is this? Mine. So who's supposed to be excited about talking about me if not me? So when it does come to answering that question, no doubt about it, there can be no confusion about that. Yeah, man, this is important to me. Who? Me. Who am I? Well, I am what I say I am. I'm the person that wants this. So what does that mean? Well, that means I'm ready to invest. I can't want something and then be expecting everybody else to make more investments in the development of that thing, achievement, than me. This is mine. I want this. And I'm willing to do what I have to do to claim it, to bring it into existence by everything that I have available to me. And that's what that means. If I need to see more, then I'm going to open my eyes and see. If I need to breathe more, then I'm going to open my lungs and breathe for it. If I got to bleed for it and I'm ready to do that, then that means it's for me to open up my vein and bleed if I need to. But everything that's under my survey, when I say that I want it, well, then that's what it means. I am willing to invest because it's important to me. That's where you get it from. Next question. Yes, sir.
My question is somewhat similar to his. For so many years and so much dedication, do you ever feel like imprisoned inside of your repetition? You have to constantly eat the same, constantly change up. You ever feel imprisoned in that? And it's find the difficulty not to take that step out past it?
Question is, does that ambition become a cage? Does it hold you hostage? The work now that you have to do in order to continue to work towards the achievement that you say you want, is it a cage? Does it truth? It can be, but anytime you or me, the person that says in this case, this is what I want, anytime that I start to see the cage or see the pursuit of this idea, this success, this achievement as a cage, as an obstacle, then what that means is, to me, is that I have now taken my eye off the goal. That's how I've now, that the equivalent of that is when being the LT, Lawrence Taylor, what was he? He was a linebacker, that's right. When you are trying to, let's say you're a 2-back, 4-back, listen, I want to hit that quarterback. I want to get there. I want to hit the quarterback. I got these linemen that want to stop me. Anytime that goal becomes hidden by my ability to visualize larger these guys that are the linemen in front of me, the problems, then that means, to me, I've now taken my eye off the goal. You get me? So when you start the pursuit, hey, man, I got my gym membership, but I'm paid 6 months. Cars outside, I can drive to the gym. All those things we just talked about. Those things in line. I got my diet plan. It's already on my phone. All that stuff, right? Working towards the goal. I'm working towards the goal. And now while I'm doing a meal plan, whatever you're doing, every day, 6 hours, 6 meals, whatever it is, I'm doing it. Got cardio going. I got my training system going 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 6 days. I'm getting it done. Anytime any of those things, the meal prep, the cardio, anytime those things start to become the obstacle, the cage, then that means that I am no longer looking at my goal anymore. I am now investing my attention in conjuring the wrong thoughts, doing the wrong things. My focus is off. In order to make more of the problem, that means you have to take your eye off the promise, the goal. Anytime it feels that way, that means you need to stop, assess, and reassess. Hold on, where are my thoughts? What am I doing? Oh, shit, I'm distracted. Yep, I'm distracted. Perfect example. You're walking with your girlfriend. We're walking arm in arm. This is my girlfriend, and we walking. I'm proud to walk with her, and she's proud to walk with me. And as we're walking down the block together, we just holding hands or arm in arm, walking together. Now, as long as my eyes are on my girlfriend, we're great. As long as my eyes are directly in front of us, we're wonderful. But the reason, or the minute, my eye starts wandering over here and watching over there, and my girlfriend's over here, but my eyes is over there, taking in all the wonderful groceries that are, oh, damn it, I done stepped in the, guess what? My girlfriend's upset. Why? Because my eyes aren't where they need to be. You need to keep your eyes where you're going. And anytime your eyes are somewhere else, you run the risk of bumping into things. See what I'm saying? You hear me? You want to look where you're going. If you're looking elsewhere, guess what? Your eye is off the promise. You get me? You're distracted. The distraction is the thing that leads to the ruin. You get what I'm saying? The distraction is evident when we're now saying, hey, I'm not looking at my goal anymore. I want to be focused. I need to be on top of my time. I need to be on top of my meals. I'm following through with eating 6 times a day. I'm doing those. You know what? Maybe I don't want to go to the gym today because there's some stuff over there that's happening. I just got that phone call. My friend, that fun friend. That fun friend that's so fun. That's something. My point. All of those things are distractions that become that much more dominant, that much more capable of possibly monopolizing your attention, taking your concentration, because you've now done the thing that you can't do, and that's take your eye off the goal. So yeah, when you take your eye off the goal, yes, those things can become a cage. They will become bars. Damn, I got to eat the same way. Oh, it's monotonous. Oh, I hate eating chicken and rice. Fish. Oh, my bag stinks. Food falls out, juices. I don't care what kind of Tupperware I use. It always seeps out in my bag. The bag smells terrible in a week. I always got to wash it. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to do it anymore, but I have to. Damn, this sucks. Yeah, all of those things. Yeah, they are an indication of, guess what? Your eye is off the prize. You're looking at the problem, and you're magnifying that. And until you get that thing understood, you're not going to be able to create or recognize the opportunity that you have available to you to advance. Does that make sense? All right. Next question. Hey.
I got a pretty simple one for you, but could be complex. Why RedCon1?
I like that. And can you say, Singerman? Singerman! Yeah. Oh, honestly, real talk, why? Okay, so a lot of people don't know, but originally, guess what happened? Originally, we joined up and we started Dynamic Muscle. Yeah. In fact, it was Singerman that said, hey, Kai, you know what? We can do something really awesome. Really? Yeah. I got a vision. Let's partner up. Let's do something really amazing. And we did. I mean, there was a lot of other things that went on at that time, but the truth is, when I looked at it, it was a win-win. It was a success all the way around the board. I trusted Singerman, but I also understood that there was so much opportunity in the arrangement that we had. And the stuff that we'd be able to do, I knew would be awesome. His business sense was amazing. And the stuff that we could have done, and the stuff that we were looking to do, and that technically we started to do, was right on line with the larger vision that was mine of what my personal success started to look like in the long term. Now, let's not get it twisted. There's a lot of things that happened between then and now, but coming to RedCon now is, again, the ability to recognize that opportunity that we set out to do originally in the first place. You know, this was a win-win. The business strategy behind the scene was something that was more than I had the ability to really be able to step into with the full thrust of having had his experience. And when I looked at the things that I wanted to do with entertainment and the larger possibilities of what we could have done together, yeah, it was a no-brainer. Now we have an opportunity to revisit that again, this time as a RedCon1 family. And what we were able to do and build in the beginning with Dynamic was one of those things that this, better than anything, allowed me to really see how we could really step into making a lot of those original ideas real. So yeah, definitely. You think about everything that's been able to happen up until this point, the growth, the success, the ability to continue to expand, we're still growing, you know, and the opportunity is undeniable, you know? Stevie Wonder could see it. So I'm very, very, very proud and happy to be a part of that. Yes. Any other questions? Questions? Steve, come on in here. Let's get it.
So, Kai, we know you've had the opportunity to train all over the world, tons of different gyms. This past week, you've had the opportunity to come down here, train with us here at the RedCon1 Gym. So I want to know, how has your experience been, and how do we stack up down here in South Florida?
I don't know about stacking up. There's no need to stack up. There is no competition. Stack it up. Why do we got to do that? I mean, honestly, I've been so well received, it's not even funny. And definitely one thing you can't do is not acknowledge that. I'm very thankful. Every time that I have come here, I've been welcomed like family. And that was before RedCon. So, I mean, honestly, I'm very, very, very thankful and grateful in ways that are just beyond words right now. And with that said, as far as how do we stack up, there's no competition. I can see training here and preparing to do some really big things. Some things larger than others. But all growing in the direction of the larger success that I dreamed about and that I've been working for a very long time. And I feel very, very capable of doing that here. So with that said, yeah, man, I thank you. Thank you for the reception. And, yeah, man, the best thing I can say is I can show you better than I tell you. So stay tuned and keep watching. Yes. Any other questions? Uh-oh. Here you go. Uh-oh. I see you reading off his phone, man.
Just in case. So historically, how big of a factor has winning competitions been for your in-gym motivation? And in your opinion, is it possible to be a great bodybuilder without ever stepping on a stage?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, in your opinion, how valuable is it to win on stage as in a way to encourage your motivation when in the gym? Okay, first question. Okay, it can be very encouraging to achieve a nod from the judges and top honors on stage in competitive bodybuilding competition. You know, it's validation for some of the work that you may have, you know, undergone while in the gym training. Yes, I can't argue against that. Yeah. Is it necessary in order to become a great bodybuilder? No, not at all. Not at all. But not everybody understands that. Everybody that's a bodybuilder is not necessarily working with the need or requirement to get on stage. Bodybuilding, at its root, is about self-development through self-mastery. So, as sure as you can identify right now that, yeah, I am invested in my self-development, surely. I am invested in developing my body, and I understand that by doing that, I am now put more in touch with a greater command of my faculty in an effort to understand more things about myself that put me more in control of my life. That's a great thing that the bodybuilding influence brings to anyone. But now when we talk about, you know, being a show-ready physique, well, that's something else. Something else. It's not the same thing. And I assure you that you can be one without necessarily having to be the other. I'm a person that comes to the gym, I train, I enjoy my training. I recognize that through my training, I'm able to challenge myself and build things about my character, my self-esteem, my personality development in ways that this thing really speaks to that are very positive benefits to enhance my life. That's bodybuilding. With saying that, I can recognize in this moment that, yes, I can be a bodybuilder for the purposes of being a better me. To be a competitive athlete that gets on stage or an award-winning physique that participates in bodybuilding competition, well, that's something else. They're not the same. And you can be one without being the other. Is it possible to create a great physique without getting on stage? Yes, I do believe it's possible. Absolutely. When we say a great bodybuilder, well, think about this. We live in a day and age where now you don't need the magazine publications to promote you. We have influencers every day that turned around and said, hey, look, I've never been on a bodybuilding stage before in my life. Yet I have command through my social media of multiple millions of people that follow me. My name is Bradley Martin. I'm not an IFBB pro. Oh, snap. Well, damn, Bradley, that's awesome, man. Damn. Hey, I'm Simeon Panda. Each one of them have more followers than the average IFBB professional bodybuilder. So, I mean, the answer is right there in front of you. If you look at the highest, oh, man, this is going to sound terrible. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to sound controversial. I don't want to do that. I don't have to do that. Put my eye on the promise of the problem. Yes, answer your question. Yeah, no. You know what? You can be a great bodybuilder without necessarily getting on stage. Yes. Yes.
This kind of goes with the last one. Do you feel the need to ever get on the Olympia stage again?
Do I?
Will that ever happen again?
Oh, man. That's a great question. Man, elephant in the room. It is what you want it to be, you know? And I realize that in this moment I need to be responsible because I know there's a great deal of opportunity to speak to when answering a question like this. And I don't want to pigeonhole myself, cut off business, opportunities that may come down the line by saying too much or sounding too, I don't know how to say it. Okay, what I'm going to say is this. Yeah, man, do it. Honestly, I think there are reasons why an athlete gets on stage and really puts on the full armor of being a competitive professional athlete at whatever it is that they do. you know? And I think that also, those reasons change over time as well. You know, I think the reasons why you may identify your right and will and reason to compete, you know, earlier in your career, in the very, very beginning, are not the same reasons 10 years later, 12 years later. You know what I mean? It can't be. Because there's a whole growth process that has to occur between the time that you start and the time that you wake up and realize, oh shit, I got responsibility to look at, you know? So with saying that, yeah, there was a time when I could only see myself, I could only afford to see myself as a competitive athlete, you know? And from that, I got my validation, my reason for being. You know, I was able to stand confidently and proudly when somebody asked me, what do you do? I said, well, I'm that guy on the cover of Flex magazine. You know, I got a Wiener contract, damn it. I earned it. You know, that stuff, you know, there was a time when that was a requirement. Even in how I felt, I was able to make sense and value to my world, you know. But we also grow. We also develop. And we can also get to a place where we don't judge ourselves by the same standards anymore. You know, when I was a boy, I did the things as a boy. And now that I've become a man, I've grown to a place where I can put those childish things away. So, yeah, we have to evolve. We get to another place in our life. The reason for competing now, my reason for competing are very different than they would have been, you know, years back, you know. And if those needs were met, then, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, absolutely. But there's a lot that needs to be, you know, considered into that. But with that, yeah, I mean, why not? You know, it's definitely something that I appreciate and feel very, very in tune with, and, you know. So yeah, absolutely. I still respect it. Yes. Any other questions? Yep.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity, you know, that you are giving us, you know, for us to be here with you tonight. Other than winning the Mr. Olympia, what other future goals do you have, and what can we expect from you in the next few years?
So, wow, that's a good question. Wow, so, yeah, I'm working on a lot of things. I got an animated series that is, you know, working in production as we speak, Chronicles of King Kai, which is dope. It's amazing, and I'm very, very excited to be able to. It's one thing to say it. Yo, man, you know, I really would like to be able to do something like that one day. I look at Thundercats and He-Man and those kinds of things. You know, I would love to be able to create my own version of that while telling a story that's very near and dear to my heart. You know, is it possible? Is it possible? You know, to start this journey and to get to a place where, yo, man, yeah, we signed a deal. We got, so the creator, I mean, I'm not supposed to say it, but man, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. Should I say it? Yeah, man. Just really far in the process of development of the animated series that's dope, Chronicles of King Kai. Finishing a film documentary with Generation Iron on the life and times of Kai Greene, which is interesting when you consider it's made for Netflix and the larger possibilities that are to be realized within that opportunity. We have a variety show that we've been working on that, with proof of concept, was allowed to become opportunity on a larger scale that really talks about just your development with your ability to write, create, and produce stuff that I didn't think was possible. You know what I mean? On the other side of it, I didn't learn how to read until I was 16. So you think about writing or growing into a place where you can, you know, create opportunity of employment, not only for yourself, but others, based on being able to exercise the value or showcase the value in your ideas and realize, wow, you know, thoughts do become things. It's not something you just say and put on the back of a hoodie. Yeah, that's kind of clever. No, man, you don't understand. That's the secret to this whole experience. And to see it being able to be produced in all of these other ways of expressing it started with the experience on stage as a bodybuilder. But it really became the thing that really helped me understand the value of this point, how powerful your thinking is. I don't need to imagine going to Marvel Comics and watching Black Panther or Captain America or Iron Man and then walk around thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if you had a mutant power like in Marvel Comics? Wouldn't it be great? You do. In fact, you got better than that. Your mutant power is your ability to think, develop ideas that with enough development you can sell them while conjuring the biggest imagining of the success that you dream and make it a reality. Really? Yeah, man. The power of your thoughts become the things that shape the reality of your life. Yo, man, you mean to tell me that's not a sci-fi flick? No, man, this is real. It's how a teenage bodybuilder grows from being in an institutional facility working out with no real reason to imagine that they're going to let him out for one day to go to a bodybuilding competition and participate. They didn't care whether or not you had genetics. This was part of a behavior modification system that some really, really, really committed and invested people that cared decided to try to do by moving hell and earth to make it happen. And to help you learn a very valuable lesson about how to develop yourself just through the will of your discipline. It's amazing. But yeah, just answer the question. Yeah, man, once you get it, everything is available to you. And you can see it, the opportunity in everything. So yeah, film, television, writing, we had an ebook for everything under the sun. But through that, though, I got a chance to see how the objections that I could have talked about earlier in my life, I don't have. Truth is, doesn't mean that you can't be. Doesn't. Just means that you may have to think a little bit more creatively. You might have to work a little harder than maybe you would have imagined to harness the power of your thinking and create the reality that you want. But it's there, and it's not positive thinking. It's not just, hey, well, just be positive. Man, nah. You got responsibility, brother, because you can create whatever you want. You can create that. So if what you want to do is create opportunity, then guess what? Be clear about what you want, because it's there. Opportunity is in everything that crosses your path. So once you're clear about what you want to do, then guess what? Let's get it. Even the impossible becomes possible. You can grow from being a teenage pubescent bodybuilder to, bang, 295 pounds, cross-striated glutes. Day after, it doesn't matter at that point. My point is that, yeah, the impressive physique that's awe-inspiring, it's possible. Took 20 years to build it, but my point, it happened. The ability to think about the impossible animated TV series, man, it's happened. It's happening. It's possible. And everything else for that matter. Yeah. So it just becomes a question of, well, what do you really want to do? And are you willing to invest the time and the effort to develop the skills necessary to get it? But that's it. And that's how I answer that, because it's a truth that is not made up. It's better than fiction. Yeah. Any questions? Any more questions? Oh.
So this is something you kind of touched on a little bit. It's really easy to make big goals, but like you mentioned, it's really easy to get kind of lose sight of those goals. So what is your thoughts on shifting goals, either making new, smaller goals, dialing back the scope? Do you think that can be good or counterproductive in the end?
No, I think it's great. I think that's required. Sometimes you have to be more expansive with your vision. In the beginning, I only spoke with the language and with the maturity of what I could see at the time. So let's say, you start thinking this when you're 5 and 9. Well, when I was 9, if you'd have gave me $5, when I was 9 years old, if you gave me $5, I would go and buy $5 worth of candy. However, if you gave me $5 when I'm 35, you'll find that I would have invested in a lot of different ways that I would not have even thought about when I was 5. So my point is that, yeah, man, sometimes you have to become more expansive with your vision in an effort to be able to see the opportunity that is in front of you, even when the setbacks come. There's some people that had bought a house, husband and wife, loved each other, bought a home, paid their home, first 3 years of having their home, ran into some hard times, got their hours cut at the job, both were working in the medical field. 6 months became 12 months. Before you knew it, they were behind in their mortgage, and guess what? They were looking at losing their house. Wow, this is a tragedy. We're going to lose our home. It's an amazing disappointment. But when you flipped it around and looked at how to see it, in an effort to recognize the opportunity that was in there, to advance in the direction that they wanted to go, they got a chance to realize, well, you know what, guess what? This would be the way out of where we were. We can now relocate to this other spot where they just happen to be having all these openings for a lab tech like me and even a doctor like you, honey. Guess what? Opportunity. Anyway, my point, in some time, effort, they had to become a little bit more expansive with their vision. Maybe we build this oasis of wonder, in 10 years and not the 7 that we originally planned on investing. So by year 3, when we found our, shit hitting the fan, guess what? It didn't mean that we were going to die because of the opportunity had dried up. It just meant that we were going to have to be a little bit more expansive in how we saw and a little bit more inventive with how we looked at how we could develop our vision, and to see that vision realized of success. So, yeah, it is a requirement at times, but it's doable. And it's still proof positive to the point. Any more questions?
We got time for one more question, guys. Everybody's got it.
Yep.
One more question.
Are you ever nervous being the performer that you are? You've always been such a performer on stage as far as I can YouTube back.
Nervousness. Yes. Nervous. Yeah, you know what? Hell yeah. I once heard an interview with Luther Vandross one time, and I heard him say, now, Luther Vandross was like this world-renowned, musician, recording artist, like gold albums all over the place. And this dude probably did like just thousands and thousands of performances in a single year. Long story short, when he was interviewed by Oprah, she asked him, hey, so what is it like backstage? Same thing. You ever get nervous? And he said he used to get violently ill with nervousness and anxiety before taking the stage. He said he would vomit. It was just TMI. It's too much. A lot of stuff would go on with him in an effort to deal with that. My point, yes, because when I heard Luther Vandross went through it, I mean, that was one of the most amazing performers in the world. Accomplished all over the board, just amazing. And if he was able to still get nervous every time he went on stage, then why not you? So yeah. For me, yes, I do get nervous. But I mean, I'm not on the level of Luther Vandross, Well, you're being very kind. But with that, yeah, man, I think nervousness is it's not whether or not you get nervous. It's what you do when dealing with your nervousness. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we just handed you the microphone. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm nervous. Not only am I nervous, I'm shy. And guess what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to put the mic down. I'll pass it away. But that was your opportunity. You get me? And there's opportunity in that. Because in that moment, what we do is we build something in ourselves that say who I am. Not only to the world, but more importantly to the quiet you that's listening all the time. your unconscious mind that's like, yo, man, I'm watching you like a child. You are programming me with every step you take, whether you're conscious of it or not. And the next time you tell me that you're going to do something and you don't do it, then guess what? I'm going to sit back here and I'm going to look at you and I'm going to tell you, man, I don't believe what you said. Because when you told me you were going to do it before, you didn't. So that's how I can break the confidence in myself. And that's what happens. By not following through, what happens is I can now start to program myself to start working against myself. You get me? The most influential person that you're going to ever meet, I believe, in your life. Now, you can challenge me. You can go find out if you want. Somebody says, Kai, you're wrong. I don't believe that. It's nonsense. But I think the most influential person that you're going to meet in your life personally is going to be the man or woman that you see in the mirror. That man or that woman that you see in the mirror, when you look at it, is single-handedly going to be able to speak life or death to the success or failure of the things that are important to you. If you take care of that person and you encourage them and you build their confidence up, guess what? They can show up when you really need them to and show out in ways that will make you proud down the line and make you want to jump back and say to yourself, hey, I'm proud of you. Good job. Thank you for taking care of me. It was worth it to take care of you. And on that note, I guess we'll end this thing. Listen, I thank everybody for coming out and sharing this thing with us because this is what's up. It was sprung on me, but I feel good about the exchange. Thank you for being so kind to listen and share. And hopefully, if you were asked what were 3 things that you got out of this thing, this experience, this exchange tonight, maybe when you're taking a shower tomorrow, you may be thinking about it and make, you know what, well, here's one thing I got out of that. Because I think that's the job. I'm not telling you to say it right now. I'm just saying all of us have a responsibility because we all invested our time. Yep, however long this thing was, we were here, listening, exchanging, and on some level, after this thing is over, it will be up to each one of us to identify for ourselves at least 3 things that we've gotten from this experience that, when applied, can be of help to you on your journey. I got my 3 things. Well, I'm still working on that. But I got a lot of things. I got a lot of things out of this experience today, and I am thankful to all of you for taking the time and sharing this experience with me. So on that note, thank you. And thanks for coming. We good?
All right, guys, thanks for coming out. Let's have another round of applause for Kai, taking his time out of his day to come down and talk to us here. It's such a treat to have him down here at the gym talking to our members. And any of you who are not members, we have a great deal going on for the month of December. Inquire at the front desk. But I do want to get like a group picture here. I'm going to get Kai up here. We'll take a picture with everybody. We'll post it on the Instagram. Check it out. Follow us at RedCon1 Gym. And, thanks again for coming out tonight.